Welcome to the Anime Podcast channel. My name is Benji, and it has officially been 1 month since Oda has last blessed us with a One Piece chapter, and another month of me stalling to make a One Piece review. I apologize. But regardless of how long it has been long enough. And bro, I was fiending for some One Piece, dog. I really was. Especially after it was finally confirmed that Luffy is now one of the 4 Yonkos within the seas. But for quick reference, Oda went fucking bonkers on this chapter. This chapter is so much heat. Now, when he said he was about to go crazy for this final saga of One Piece, I didn't think he was gonna go this crazy to start off. But before we get into this very hype-ass chapter, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Me and my friends Nick, Taj, and Phil make weekly podcast episodes on all of your favorite anime and manga series. And really quick, after this chapter, our Discord is jumping. Go ahead and join our Discord to be all-inclusive of the discussion going on as we speak. But no more wasting your time, let's finally get into chapter 1054 of One Piece, Emperor of Flames. So to start, let's give a little pretext of what happened before the break. So of course, Big Mom and Kaido were defeated. And the Wano celebration that we all knew was coming has finally begun. Also, Momonosuke has turned into a swaggy ass shogun of Wano. And then we got to see a little bit of titties. Excuse me. Yeah. But one of the most important things that we saw before the break was Admiral Green Bull actually pulling up to Wano and low-defing both of the calamities of Kaido, King and Queen. And under Green Bull's own direction, he has taken it upon himself to go ahead and try to capture Straw Hat Luffy, one of the 4 great Yonkos in the seas currently. And that is where we are right now. So to start, the Scabbers has actually caught word that Admiral Green Bull is trying to approach the festival or the celebration of Wano. And they make it known from the jump that handling Admiral Green Bull is something that they're going to have to take on by themselves. They don't want to bother the heroes of Wano. And I'm gonna be honest, I gotta commend the Scabbards, even though they did take an L against Kaido, who is, I'm pretty sure, stronger than Green Bull. They are always ready for the smoke. They are the quintessential samurai of Wano. But once the Scabbards show up, Green Bull has a couple of words to talk to them about. And well, you'll see. First, it is confirmed that Green Bull has ate a forest fruit, which I believe is a logia, and basically it allows him to be one with nature, to create branches, trees, everything incorporated within nature. Now, in my opinion, I feel like this is a very powerful devil fruit, especially with the opportunities for a bunch of optimizations a little bit later on in battle. But like I said, we'll see. I don't want to give him too much hype just yet. And then we actually see him literally transform his body into a giant tree-like monster. I'm not 100% sure. Now, this also kind of gives the pretense that maybe this is kind of a zone kind of ability. But like I said before, I do want to kind of, reserve a lot of my speculations for a little bit later. I do want to see all the optimization that Green Bull has with this pretty cool devil fruit. But it's the dialogue that Green Bull states in this chapter that is really interesting. Take a look. Green Bull says this: "Do any of you have the first clue about the ways of the outside world? The celestial dragons are gods. A country like this, one with no ties to the world government, has no standings." He then continues and says this: "It's time you learn a hard truth. Humanity only got this far by enforcing hierarchies. We've got to put non-affiliated nations like yours in their place. That order is what keeps life going. Prejudice breeds stability." Wow. So very interesting set of dialogue from Green Bull. For one, I think it's 100% confirmed that Admiral Green Bull and Zoro are brothers, simply for the fact that they are both racist. They are racist, confirmed. I'm just kidding. But like my friend on Twitter, Rez, actually said, prejudice breeds stability is a wild statement, my boy. That's a wild statement. But soon we see that Yamato has arrived to the battle with her bad self. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't give Green Bull any time to react. She literally infuses a Conqueror's Haki attack right directly to Green Bull's head. Now Green Bull is stunned that not only of the attack, but also the proclamation that Yamato is Kaido's son. Now, Green Bull is pretty still stunned and confused, and he actually screams Kaido in a very confused manner. But we then see the Shogun himself, Momonosuke, come in, and he actually tries to imitate one of the attacks that Kaido used multiple times within the raid, his blast breath. Unfortunately for Momo, I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
So Momo, unable to use the ability that he actually saw from Kaido, he goes to the one thing that he knows best, biting niggas. And Momo says this: I will still drive you from the capital. Be gone. No one will ever bring dread or terror to our people again. I vow that I will not allow it. So Green Bull at this point is still kind of confused of the fact that who is Momo, as well as this pink dragon ability that he has. Green Bull then uses an attack of his own, and he wraps his forest-like body all around Momo. So Yamato at this point seems pretty concerned about Momo and actually screams out to him. But very surprisingly, Momo screams that Yamato must stay out of this. And the thing about this that makes this so surprising is I don't necessarily think that Momo doesn't necessarily want Yamato's help. Now, the thing that does seem a little off is the fact that Momo earlier on in this chapter actually praised Yamato for what she said to Green Bull regarding the tyranny that the people of Wano have actually faced. And for him to kind of be like, you know, I don't want your help, big dog. But I feel like that's a little bit off, but I'm not going to prejudge anything just yet because I do want to kind of see next chapter what Momo is really kind of concerned about. Now, my conclusion is that Momo may know something about Green Bull after he uses this attack. Now, I don't necessarily think that the evidence shows that Green Bull has some kind of lineage or some kind of residence within Wano, but I feel like the connections can be made just a little bit. We still haven't seen Green Bull pull out his sword that he displayed in the last chapter, so I do want to kind of see what happens from here. And also, I would love to see if somehow, some way, the Straw Hats actually do come into play and they actually hear Momo. But like I said, I kind of want to just see what Momo and the Scabbards are able to do during this pretty decisive battle, I would say. But moving on to the seas around Wano, we actually see a boss ship, and it's a special one. Now, one comment in particular says that Luffy has become a great pirate. I'm pretty sure you kind of know where this is going. Then in a panel under that, we actually see a mysterious figure say this: this takes me back last I was here, we were all giving Odin a send-off. Momo and Hiyori must be all grown up now. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure you know who it already is. But let's continue. But after that, we actually see Lucky Root and Yasop, and we see other two members of this mysterious figure's crew. I'm pretty sure you already know who it is. They are all excited that Luffy has finally become a great pirate. Except Yasop. Yasop is a little bit scared to meet his son because, you know, he did the whole abandonment thing, you know, try to be a pirate, so. His face is priceless though in this chapter. But then after this, we finally see the man himself, Shanks, red-haired Shanks, and he's looking at the article written about Luffy finally becoming a great pirate, or one of the 4 great Yonkos. And in a short thought-filled flashback, Shanks looks back on his time when him and his crew actually raided Who's Who in the CP9 ship that once carried the Gumo Gumo no Mi, or what we know now is the mythical zone model Nika. Now, I like this flashback a lot because it actually explains that Who's Who had absolutely no idea why the Shanks pirates were coming to raid for the Devil Fruit. And even in this chapter, he even says that it was a minor Devil Fruit. The only thing that it was able to let people do was turn into rubber. But I kind of realized that Shanks definitely knew that, or at least had a hint about this devil fruit being on the CP9 ship and its capabilities from an early age. So I do kind of want to see how that kind of transpired, but let's move on. Now, the real question is, who and where did Shanks actually hear about this devil fruit? Was it from Roger? And is this devil fruit in particular very synonymous with the One Piece? And that question arises a little bit later on in this chapter. But let's continue. So then we later move on to a couple more flashbacks of Shanks and Luffy's time at the beginning of the story. And we also see the encounter with the Sea Devil actually taking Shanks' arm. And like I said before, I feel like this was an indicator of Shanks really betting on Luffy to continue his pirate journey. That moment itself solidified Luffy to hopefully one day be a great pirate, which he is now. And even in this chapter, Shanks even holds his womb in remembrance of that very moment that Luffy actually began his pirate journey. So later on, his crew continues to gossip about Luffy's new Yonko status. And a rumor has been circling around that Luffy is considered a rampaging monkey demon. But surprisingly, Shanks says this. He says that he has no intention, as of right now, to make his reunion with Luffy just yet. Or Shanks kind of says here, I believe it's in Wano. And he explains that Barto, one of Luffy's biggest fanboys and part of Luffy's fleet, has burned down a lot of the flags within Shanks' territory. And Shanks let it be known that, he can't let this slide or else people gonna think that he's a fraud. But the crew is obviously reluctant because they want to go ahead and see Luffy once again. But we then move on to Shanks actually pouring a drink with Ben Beckman. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. So Shanks pours up Ben Beckman a drink and he says this. Hey Beck, isn't it about time to go and claim it? The One Piece. And boy, shit just got serious. Now, first, off the rip, my first thought was, I don't know what Shanks has been doing the last 20 years. I feel like he probably could have already found the One Piece. Then, when you really think about it, this suggests that Shanks was literally waiting for the moment that Luffy was able to awaken that devil fruit. And this is when the gears start to move. Luffy is a major component into finding, or at least unlocking, the One Piece. Now, the evil Shanks theories are going rampant within the community right now, but I'm gonna reserve myself for right now because I don't believe that Shanks would do all of that in order to be a bad guy at the end of the day. But I will say this, Shanks is a major mastermind behind a lot of things, and I feel like him knowing that Luffy needed to awaken his devil fruit, this is when Shanks finally is going to make his move. Now, one more thing is I want to give a big shout out to Joe Sco's Theory on Twitter, one of my homies. He actually mentioned, or at least saw, that if you notice this panel, the right side of Shanks' face is completely covered off. Now, in One Piece, it is a reoccurring thing that a lot of the left side of individuals' faces, or at least their eyes, are cut off. We've seen this with, I believe, Skypiea or Jaya, the Kingdom of Jaya, and we have seen this in one of the covers with Luffy where he's closing his left eye. Now, in this case, Shanks has his left eye open. Now, I'm not 100% sure what this may mean or what it may be alluding to, but I feel like it's very much a stylistic choice by Oda for us to be like, maybe we should look at this panel extremely closely. This could lean towards Shanks still being the evil character that everyone wants him to be, or I feel like Shanks has a grand plan that does involve Luffy and his devil fruit. But finally, we make it to the end of the chapter, and we have arrived in the new world at the Navy's new headquarters. And we see Admiral Akainu, Kizaru, and a new admiral whose name is Tensai, and we'll kind of get more into his position a little bit later. But we get a huge info dump on the events that happened during Revelry, and I'll try to put it as briefly as possible. First, it was announced that Nefertari Cobra was killed during Revelry. I strongly doubt that he's dead, but we'll see what happens. Now, the article that was published makes it seem that Sabo is responsible for Cobra'S death. Now, again, I don't necessarily think this is true, but this truly bolsters Sabo's reputation to the world government as being a direct enemy of the Gorosei and the world government. We then find out that Sabo and the revolutionaries pulled up to the home of the celestial dragons and started getting active, my boy, directly declaring war against the world government during Revelry. Now, Admiral forces were called into play, both Fujitora and Green Bull. Yet, since it was hard to fight in the land of the gods, the admirals were a little bit restricted, and I definitely can see why Fujitora was restricted. I mean, you start showering down meteors, niggas' homes, they don't got home insurance, you feel me? Like, you know, shit becomes a disaster. But the revolutionaries actually battle it out with the admirals to a certain degree and are able to be successful in their mission to go ahead and rescue one of their former comrades, Kuma. And after this, we also find out that Vivi has suddenly disappeared. Now, I'm not going to jump the gun here, but this could very well mean that Im-sama himself has already kickstarted his plan. Now, what he may be planning for Vivi down the line, I'm not 100% sure, but he also could be responsible, if it is true, of Cobra'S death. We then find out the position of this mysterious admiral who's talking to both Kizaru and Akainu, and basically his position is the Criminal Affairs Unit Chief. And he actually also explains that Charlo, if you guys do remember back in Sabaody, his bitch ass, basically he had a hit out for his life, or somebody attempted to murder that nigga. But the major news is that Sabo and his actions within Revelry has sparked a huge revolution amongst 8 of the rebelling kingdoms who were attending Revelry. And Sabo is now looked upon as a modern day hero and has garnered one of the swaggiest titles in the series, Flame Emperor. And it seems like from what the Admiral was saying that Sabo's influence has seemingly almost surpassed Dragons, the leader of the revolutionaries. And this is in combination with Sabo being Luffy's brothers. Both of these brothers are taking on the world by full force. And basically this is going to start a new era or a new revolution within One Piece. A new dawn is coming. But with this news, we end the chapter with my boy, well not really my boy, Akainu. But we end with Akainu saying this: I've reached the rank of Fleet Admiral during one hell of an era. I don't care where they try to hit us. We'll strike back and return fire on all fronts. But the setup in this chapter is crazy. The fact that Oda has returned with such a hype chapter, so many theories can be taken from this chapter. Hopefully I can make a couple videos along the week. But wow, this chapter was crazy. So many questions can be brought about Shanks' motives. You know, Sabo considering being the 5th Yonko within the world, or at least his influence is that of a Yonko's. You know, going back to Green Bull, or whether or not his motives kind of align with Wano or Fujitora's in a way, which I'm kind of, you know, I don't think so, especially with the, you know, the racist, you know, stuff he was saying, but, you know, we'll see. And also, what was Momo so upset about from Yamato? Does he realize something about Green Bull, and does he kind of want Yamato to kind of, you know, take a sideline for this battle? And like I said before, this could be another reason why Fujitora and Green Bull were unsuccessful in apprehending Sabo and the revolutionaries, simply because, you know, they have an agenda of their own. And then also, what the hell is Akainu plotting? He looks like he's gonna get back his in blood. But that's the end of the chapter. Please, please, please go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. My name is Benji, and this is the Geek Giant channel. I hope that you stayed. I hope that you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.